Hey gang, GMap14 here. Today I'm going to be comparing these two models of Nexus 7, or the Nexus 7i. I don't know how the plural of Nexus is, or Nexi would be. But today we're going to be comparing them. This is the second generation, and this is the first generation. If I need to point that out throughout the video, I will do that, but just to make it easier, there's a black bezel around this, and a silver bezel around the first generation, so that should make it a little easier. And don't worry, they won't be laying down the whole time, but they're laying down right now, so I can give you a rundown of the internals of each one. First off, this is the second generation one. This internal CPU has the Qualcomm Snapdragon S4 Pro with a 1.50 GHz processor. This CPU on the first generation has an ARM Cortex A9 NVIDIA Tegra 3 1.2 GHz quad-core processor. Now, some of you may not even know what that means. Just like me, I have no idea what that means, but this is the same internals that the Nexus 4 has, the second generation, and it runs amazing. It's so smooth and quick, so that's really nice. This has 16 or 32 gig storage capacity on the newest model, and the old model had 8 gigs, 16 gigs, or 32 gigs. The 8 gigs was retired soon after the 13 gigs was released. This has 1 gig RAM, which is the 1 gig RAM, and this has 2 gigs of RAM. So of course there's an upgrade in that. You'll notice that very much so if you upgrade between them. This has a 7.02 inch diagonal IPS LCD capacitive touchscreen display with a 16 by 10 widescreen aspect ratio. This one has a 7 inch, so this one's got 0.02 inches larger of a screen, and this one has IPS LCD as well, touchscreen with a 16 by 10. So it's pretty much similar. This is just a wee bit larger of a screen. This has 1280 by 800 WXGA pixels, and this has 1920 by 1200 pixels. And of course, this screen is way better in that aspect. The colors look more real, it's very vibrant. It's the best screen on any tablet. Some people have been saying it's better than iPads and such, but we'll get back to that later. This has 10 points of multi-touch, which matters, I guess. This has scratch-resistant Corning glass on the, both of them have scratch-resistant, so I'll just try to say the stuff that you know. This has an Adreno 320 at 400 megahertz graphics card, and this has a 416 megahertz with an NVIDIA GeForce. Alright, we'll skip through these. Nothing's really changed, except this can now support wireless charging on the newest one. And, yep, not too many differences, except there's a rear camera on this one, so I will show you that later. So let's get down to it. One more thing real fast, that this has the newer one has LTE. You can buy an upgraded version where LTE on any service, so AT&T, Verizon, all the services will, support it. With this one, you had to buy, I'm pretty sure there were like different models, one for each carrier. So now with the newest one, you don't have to do that. Alrighty, let's get into it. As you will notice, on the newest Nexus 7, it has changed, on the outside at least, somewhat a lot and somewhat not too much. Here are the backs. This is the first generation, second generation right here. And you will notice that the Asus is still at the bottom, the logo, and Nexus has changed. It has been turned landscape. Also, you'll notice there's a large speaker at the bottom here. On the new Nexus, there is 1, 2, and then a large, long one at the top. And this one is inlaid on the original one, and these are like more on the outside of it. A huge difference there. Also, you'll notice that at the top, there is a 5 megapixel camera on the second generation. There is no camera on this one, except for the front-facing one for video chats. This is a lot heavier, and comparing the two, it is heavier. This back has a dimple, which is a grip. This one has no dimple. It is just a matte black finish. If you turn them on their sides, you will notice that the top one is considerably thicker. They have slimmed down the Nexus 7 very much so. Let me see if I can give you a good example of how thin it is. Let's see if I can do that. No, I can't, but they have thinned it down very much so and evened out everything, so I like the new one way more for that. On the left side, there's still nothing going on over there. But on the original Nexus 7, there were the pogo pins, which you could use for the dock. And guess what? No pogo pins on the new Nexus 7, so there will not be a dock coming out for that. I don't know if that's a big deal to some people, as the dock was, well, yeah, don't need to go into that. Anyways, on this side, you will see the volume rocker and power button have not changed. They're both the same, except there is a microphone on this now. And then on the bottom of the device, the charging port is still there, except the headphone jack has been changed. On the first generation, it was on the bottom. Now on the newest one, the headphone jack is on the top, which I think makes more sense. You would rather have your headphones sticking out of the top instead of the bottom. So if you were playing something or holding it like this, you couldn't hold it down all the way because the headphone jack would be in the way. On the front side of things, you have, well, you know, the bezel people have been complaining about. If you look right here, it looks about exactly the same to me. They just made the bezel a little bit larger on the newer one, which people are complaining about. I don't really care. The bezel on the side, I don't know if you can see that, it's longer, thicker here than it is here, so they've made it slimmer. And also, the camera has moved. The camera is in the middle on the first generation, and on the second generation, it's farther on the right, and it's not centered. I don't know why that is, but I'm not going to complain. Also, on the bottom of the devices, the bezel here would just, well, bezel, and on here, I can't show it to you right now, but there was a notification light. It only flashes white, but it is the first Nexus 7 to have that. The original does not. So, besides the obvious aesthetic features and the internals, which I went over at the beginning of the video, the screen quality is another big difference. They've changed it so that it is a lot smoother, and it's just better. It's better equipped. It doesn't lag, which after a while of use on the old first generation, it started to lag. I reset it and gave it to my father, this tablet, and the lag went away. So after you reset your device, the lag will go away, and it's still a very snappy device. So this has not gotten the 4.3 upgrade yet, but it is coming. This has 4.3. Also, if you notice at the bottom, there is the notification light. It is white and white alone. You cannot change it at all, which I don't know. Some people have complained. Some people have not. I don't think it's that big of a deal. There it goes. So it's white. That's it. And if we go to the top, you will see that I got an email test sent by myself. Okay. So you might not be able to tell too much on this device because the screens do not show screens very well. But I'm going to show you. Here is the screen quality. It is a lot brighter on the new Nexus 7. I don't know if you can tell that. See? But the colors look more real on here. They're more dense, and it's just a better looking device. And I don't know if you can tell that from looking at the screen, but I would definitely give the better screen to this device. All in all, I would definitely pick this over the first generation, except if you care about Google Wallet. At the moment, it only works on the first generation and does not work on this one. Although I don't know if you go to Starbucks and you were going to be paying with this gigantic tablet, gigantic. But, you know, it's a very fast device. I love it. It's amazing. It also supports 1080p streaming of Netflix. It's the first device to do so, so that's a big deal. This does not support that yet. There aren't too many changes, really, between these two devices, and software-wise, because it is stock, and they are keeping them the same in their Nexus devices, so they'll probably have the same software. This is faster, of course, and the only real difference to the software at the moment is that this is running 4.3, and, well, this is running 4.2. So that's not a huge deal to me, but maybe it is to you. So you can see there, 4.2, and, well, that went away, but it did say 4.3. So this has been a comparison of the Nexus 7 first generation and the Nexus 7 second generation. Both of these devices are amazing. I have loved my first generation Nexus 7 for the past Christmas, since I got it Christmas last year, and I've loved my Nexus 7, the new one, since I got it this year. If you have this one and do not care about a camera, then I would say there's nothing really keeping you to upgrade to the next one, except that it's amazing, and you will notice a difference, and it's just a really cool device. It's a lot lighter, a lot slimmer, and it just looks really cool. Of course, so does the Nexus 7, the original. So, if you have to decide between them, I would definitely go with the newer Nexus 7. But if you find one cheaper, go with the old one. There's not too much of a difference except for the camera and the better screen quality. So, hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Look forward to future videos about the Nexus 7 twin brothers and many other things, such as my Chromecast and many other new technologies coming out. So please like, subscribe, and comment, and I hope you enjoyed this video.